The transaction of Luka Doncic in NBA 2K25 would be a complicated scenario due to the game's dynamics and the rules within the basketball simulation universe. In the context of NBA 2K, player trades typically follow the same logic as real-life sports, but there are limitations and virtual league building mechanics that make the movement of a superstar like Doncic much more complex. Trade limitations in NBA 2K25. 1. Origin and destination teams. In NBA 2K, trades must be approved by both teams involved. 1. For players like Luka Doncic, who has an extremely high value in the game, with an overall rating of 96, teams would need to offer a combination of high-level players, draft picks, and even additional assets. 1. This makes a transaction practically impossible without significantly compromising the balance and strength of the acquiring team. 1. In the case of Doncic being traded, the team receiving him would have to sacrifice many key pieces, which could result in an imbalanced squad. 2. Superstar trade rule. NBA 2K has a mechanic that attempts to reflect the balance of teams in the league, meaning superstars like Doncic aren't easily moved from one franchise to another without causing major repercussions on the team's performance. 2. This makes trades involving high-rated, high-status players much rarer or forced, especially in modes like My League or MyCareer, where player movement control is more limited. 3. Impossibility of trades at the start of the season. If Doncic were to start the season with the Dallas Mavericks, the game implements a trade window that doesn't allow him to be moved without the system's management permissions and criteria. 3. This means that trades for players of that caliber, especially at the beginning or middle of the season, are much more difficult to occur, as his departure would drastically impact a franchise's performance, narrative, and realism in the game. Another significant limitation is the narrative factor that NBA 2K tries to maintain by reflecting real-world conditions. In the case of Luka Doncic, a player with immense potential and a central role on the Dallas Mavericks, any move to another team would need to be built within a plausible narrative, which limits such trades. The realism that the game aims to convey makes these types of transactions virtually unrecognizable unless they are done with a very clear context of rebuilding or a high-risk move from one of the franchises. Conclusion. Therefore, the impossibility of a Luka Doncic transaction in NBA 2K25 is not just a matter of asset limitations or league balance, but also a narrative issue and a trade system that reflects the complexities of real-life basketball. In the world of NBA 2K, these transactions are always more complex than they seem, reflecting the difficulty of superstar trades in the current NBA landscape.